Hey everybody, and welcome to the first YouTube video on my channel, Mental Architecture. I'm going to talk to you about each chapter in this video series. Today's video is going to focus on section 1 of chapter 1, and I plan to do future videos in the same way by focusing on one section at a time. So section 1 of chapter 1 is called Object Recognition, which comes from the chapter No Space. So No Space is a chapter that's about the idea that there is no such thing as emptiness, no such thing as empty space, and that idea has profound implications for you as an individual, because you count on yourself as being separate from the environment around you. You're not your computer, and you're not your desk, you're not the wall, but what really is stopping you from being your desk or being your computer or being part of the wall? Your brain has to set boundaries up for you so that you're able to tell where you begin and where you end. So before we get started, I wanted to read a quote to you from Steve Jobs that was very inspirational for me in writing this book. When you grow up, you tend to get told the world is the way it is and your life is just to live your life inside the world. Try not to bash into the walls too much. Try to have a nice family, have fun, save a little money. That's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact. Everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you, and you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again. So what I really like about this quote is it empowers everybody that their contributions to the world are important, and not only can they make new things that people can use, but they can also form new ideas that others can use as well and could be very impactful to the world. One of the experts on object recognition is a researcher from MIT, James DiCarlo, and he studied object recognition to try to find out if there was any mathematical models that could be used to decipher how the brain processes images and determines what something is. So for instance, when you look at a car or an airplane or a boat, you know that it's a car or an airplane or a boat and not something else. And for this property to work, he had to find out that it was effective in no matter what conditions. So whether you're looking at a car from the left, from the right, from above, from below, from any angle, from far away, from close in, your brain has to be able to process that image and know that that's a car. And actually that is a similar problem that computer scientists have encountered in machine learning and trying to get computers and artificial intelligence to recognize what an object is. So Dr. DiCarlo and his research team determined that the inferior temporal cortex, which is part of the ventral visual stream, which comes from the back of your head, visual cortex, and kind of runs along towards the temporal area of your brain, that is involved in object recognition, and there's a bunch of neurons in there that actually spike when you look at different objects, and it's believed that that's what's used by your brain to determine what something actually is. So determining the what is a big deal when you have an entire class of objects that could appear to you in many different conditions. In order to better understand human object recognition, researchers looked at what goes on with rhesus monkeys, and they showed them a series of just under 6,000 images 64 images, unique ones, in about 6,000 different orientations. And they found that the neuronal patterns that the rhesus monkeys exhibited were pretty much the same as the ones that humans exhibited under these conditions. And that suggested some kind of evolutionary linkage between the two species, which is really interesting, and it makes you wonder if there's other similarities that you could find in other animal populations, mammal populations, dolphins, birds. They're not mammals, but you get the idea. All kinds of different animals could perceive objects in different ways, and it might depend on what their environmental and survival needs are. So anyway, that's the first section of chapter 1. I'll come back with another video soon on the next section, which talks about anthropomorphism, which is a fancy way of saying looking at objects and trying to find human faces and human meaning in them. Thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, you can leave them below. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.